The story of Anne Frank does not begin in Amsterdam or in a hidden annex. It begins years earlier in a quiet city on the banks of River Main, Frankfurt, Germany. Here in 1929, a little girl was born into a world of love, learning and laughter. Yet the world she entered was already on the verge of change, with storm clouds of hatred gathering across Europe. This episode takes us back to where it all began. Before Anne became a symbol of hope, she was simply a daughter, a sister and a curious child. On June 12, 1929, in a modest hospital in Frankfurt, Otto and Edith Frank welcomed their second daughter, Anneliese Mary Frank. The Franks were a respectable Jewish family, proud of the German roots, well educated and deeply connected to their community. Little did anyone know that this infant born in peace would one day have a voice carried across generations. The Frank home was filled with warmth. Otto Frank, calm and intellectual, worked in the family's banking business. Edith, gentle and nurturing, educated and dedicated herself to raising her children. Margot, Anne's elder sister, was quiet, thoughtful and academically gifted. And then there was Anne, spirited, lively and endlessly curious, bringing laughter wherever she went. Anne grew surrounded by love. She played in the neighborhood streets, attended kindergarten and enjoyed birthday parties filled with friends. The Franks valued books and education. Anne's shelves quickly filled with fairy tales, picture books and stories that sparked her imagination. She was talkative, playful and never short of opinions, even at a very young age. But while Anne's childhood was bright inside the home, the world outside was slowly darkening. Germany was struggling with the aftermath of World War I and the burden of economic depression. In this chaos, extremist voices grew louder. The name Adolf Hitler began to appear in conversations, in newspapers and in the rising shouts on the streets. The Frank family, like many Jewish families, began to feel the changes. Anti-Semitic slogans appeared on walls. Old friends started keeping their distance. The city Anne knew was becoming less safe for her family. Though Anne was too young to understand fully, she sensed the tension that filled her parents' conversations. Otto, always a man of foresight, realized that Germany was no longer a place of safety for his daughters. He quietly began searching for opportunities abroad. Though it pained him, he knew that their future could not remain in Frankfurt. His priority was to give Margot and Anne a childhood free from fear. By the early 1930s, Hitler's power had grown stronger. In 1933, when he became Chancellor of Germany, Jewish families like the Franks knew life would never be the same. The decision was made. The Franks would leave Germany behind. It was not an easy choice. Frankfurt was their home, but survival required courage, and Otto and Edith chose safety over familiarity. Anne was just 4 years old when she packed her entire belongings and prepared to leave with her family. She waved goodbye to the house, the garden and the streets where she had played. For her, the move was an adventure. She did not yet understand that this farewell was forever. Frankfurt, the city of her birth, would remain only in her earliest memories. In late 1933, the Franks moved to Amsterdam, Netherlands. For Otto, it was a city of opportunity. For Edith, it was a place of safety. And for Anne, it was a brand new playground to explore. She was too young to know that this relocation would one day shape the story the world would come to know. For now, Anne was just a little girl in a new country, beginning the next chapter of her childhood. Before Anne became a diarist, before the Secret Annex, before the world knew her name, She was simply a girl from Frankfurt. This first step in her journey set the stage for all that is to come. A story not only of tragedy, but of resilience, family, and the enduring spirit of a young girl who dreamed of life even as the world changed around her.